So when I was 19, I picked up a camera for the very first time. And if you told me that 6 years later that this would be my full-time job, I would tell you you're bloody dreaming. Sorry guys, won't be a second. Just got to send out a couple of invoices on Quickbooks. Hold tight. And send. See, the beauty about being full-time creative is you actually have to know how to run a business, which I'm learning on the way, and it's been a pretty incredible journey. I failed accounting in uni, so it's kind of funny that I'm doing my own accounting now, which is a little bit scary, but as my business has grown, I've soon realized I need to make sure I'm putting time into doing what I love more so than doing something that I'm not a professional at. So I recently decided to get an accountant. He goes by the name of Parlad, an absolute legend. Have lunch with him, talk about life and talk about business and all that sort of stuff. But what he's sort of like helped me out with the most is trying to help me find clarity on the direction of where I'm going with business and how, in fact, I can actually grow it. So again, I can focus on doing what I love, which is photography. But I remember the first thing he said to me was, look, if we're gonna work together, you're gonna have to get onto the Quickbooks platform. It's gonna make not only my life easier, but also yours. So obviously listened to him and searched it up and looked up the pros and cons, and honestly, there was no cons really. And it was 20 bucks a month, and by the sounds of it, it was worth all the investment in the world. And he was right. It saved so much of my time and made my life so much easier. So straight away, the investment, 20 bucks a month, was ticked off, like easy. There's obviously different prices for what Quickbooks can offer if you're a larger business or even smaller. But that was perfect for me, and it has worked an absolute treat. And the things I love about it, there's quite a few things, but I'll just name a few. And one is the ease of invoicing your clients, as you saw earlier. You have like a template which you can just type in the client's name, the details, how much they owe you, send it off, have a due date, and they can literally pay through QuickBooks, which means the turnaround time is so quick. And also if they don't end up paying, it will send them an automatic reminder, which is really, really cool. It just like means you can worry less about payment. And I guess apart from that, it will track your income, which is really good to see. So you can keep up with how you are tracking as a business and if you're growing, which is really cool. The second thing that I love is obviously tax time is so stressful, but with QuickBooks, you connect QuickBooks to your card and it will automatically track your expenses, which is what is needed through tax time to help lower your tax bill. And obviously that has made my life so much easier at the end of the financial year. I'm not spending hours and hours and hours tracking through my bank statements and trying to get all the expenses, which can be quite annoying. So that does it all for you, which is really cool. It's quite automated. You just got to tick it off once it goes through. And then thirdly, what I love is because you have your income tracked and your expenses tracked, you straight away got a profit and loss statement, which again, at the end of tax time, all you have to do is literally export that, send it to your accountant, and they'll send you the bill for your tax straight away. So it just makes that whole process a lot quicker. And like I was saying before, it is a great way to be able to track on the dashboard. They literally have all your income, your expenses, and your profit and loss live. So as you see it, as things are happening, as transactions are made, it's live. It's really cool to see, to get updated on how your business is tracking. So I really love that about QuickBooks, but I'd say my fourth favorite thing would definitely be the receipts part of it. So obviously if you're tracking your expenses, you got to keep your receipts, etc. But all I have to do is just grab my phone, take a photo, and match it up on my computer, and it's done. So it's really, really straightforward, and that way I don't have a massive file in my office, which has made life again so much easier. Again, obviously I'm doing this with QuickBooks, but I've been using it for 2 years now, so I was pretty stoked to, get the call up and promote this amazing platform, and I couldn't recommend it enough. I'm already recommending it to my friends, and I have done so for a long time now. But I had a few more questions, which I'll quickly answer from you guys. And there's only a couple, so I won't be too long. So just bear with me. What does it actually do? I hope I've done enough explaining, but essentially if you're new to business, you can do your invoices on there. You can track your expenses on there. You can take photos of your receipts. You can track your kilometers if you need to. You can send out reminders for your invoices. There's literally so much you can do on there. There's a whole dashboard of your live income and expenses. And like I said, you print off your profit and loss statement, and your taxes are pretty simple and easy and quick. So how did you find your accountant? Very good question. So if you're looking for an accountant, I would strongly recommend to just suss out what you do for a living and what your, business is, and see if you can find someone that's relatable. Someone that's sort of like-minded as well, and it has a similar sort of business model. And just ask them who their accountant is, and I'd probably safely say that they know quite a lot about what you do in that sense, and they'll be able to help you out a lot more than a random sort of accountant. So that's how I found my accountant, and it was through a mate that's running a clothing brand. We're the same age, similar interests, so I just feel like if he's connecting well with that accountant, then I will too. So, and it's obviously worked a treat, and he's helping my business grow day by day, which I'm super grateful for. I use Quickbooks, but never know what expenses actually have GST, online purchases, etc. So again, if you're not registered for GST, I wouldn't worry too much about this, but I'm sure if you're using Quickbooks, your business is going to grow and grow and grow, and then you will be registered for GST. So the best way to find out how to pay GST or know what expenses, have GST is it's all on the tax receipt, and it'll say GST how much. Again, with online purchases, request a tax invoice so you can see if there's GST charged. And again, using the receipt option on Quickbooks, you just take a photo of the receipt. It will automatically say or sort of track that you've been charged GST, and then take that off the GST you owe when you're paying it at the end of each quarter. I've just gotten to GST, and it's been quite confusing and tough, but Quickbooks is definitely making that a lot easier. I can almost guarantee that. So I've got one more question. Does it calculate your tax amount at the end of the year? So that is a good question. There's obviously calculators that can calculate how much tax you owe at the end of the year, or an accountant can easily do that for you. But for them to easily do that, they need to know how much income you've made for the year, or revenue, and how much expenses you've had. So that is obviously, if you've got Quickbooks, it automatically is in the database. You can print out your profit and loss statement, send it to your accountant. And this is what I'm doing with my accountant at the moment. It's coming to the end of the financial year. Sort of sussed out how much expenses I've had and the income I'm probably going to get. And I've already got a calculated amount of how much I owe, which is good, because coming to the end of the year, I can start, spending more and more and more to lower that tax bill, essentially. So I hope that answers all your questions. Again, I cannot vouch for Quickbooks enough. I've been using it for a couple years now before even doing this. So it has made my life so much easier, and I've already seen improvements in growth in what I'm doing, and my knowledge for accounting has just gone through the roof. I reckon if I redid my accounting unit at uni, then I'd hopefully pass. I just feel like you learn as you go, and it's a very easy platform to use, and you just learn a lot when you actually immerse yourself into doing it and doing your invoices and tracking your expenses and stuff. So again, I absolutely love it, and I hope this video helps in some way or another. Whether you use Quickbooks or not, I just recommend getting on some sort of online platform. Definitely use Quickbooks to do this. So Peace out. Enjoy your rest of the day, week, night, and stay happy.